guys, I am certain that you have heard the news surrounding my dear Naomi Osaka. So let me get you caught up real quick. So Tunde, if you could pop up her first joint where she said that she just wasn't coming. Oh, no, pardon me. She said she just wasn't going to the press conference, right? Now, Naomi, again, hold on. I'm trying to pull it up so I can actually read it, but I hope you all have read it because Naomi Osaka is without question one of the most thoughtful young athletes that we have. And we should be so encouraged that she is the way she is. And, she's a Black and Asian woman. She reps both her Japanese and her Haitian heritage big time. And even though she plays professionally under the Japanese flag, very clearly Naomi Osaka has grown up in America, right? She's American as far as the fuck I'm concerned, okay? And she's a two-time Grand Slam champ, right? She won the U.S. Open twice. I can't remember if she won the Australian Open. I don't think that she did. Jean-Pierre, if you're watching, can you fact check me on that real quick? I'm pretty sure she has just got those 2 Grand Slams, which is great because she's young woman. If Serena Williams is any indication, Naomi Osaka is definitely at the ascent of her career, right? She's not about to fall off anytime soon. And of course, like all of us, she worships the ground Serena walks on. She loves Serena. But 5 days ago, as we know, we are in the midst of, she won 4 Grand Slams. My goodness, look, I'm shorting my sister. Right. So she won 2 U.S. Opens. I think she won 1 Australian, but I don't think that she won. Anyway, 4 Grand Slams. She's balling, right? Period. Point blank. She's doing extremely well. She's picking up endorsements. Naomi's the young money out here, right? But Naomi, if you watched her at all, right, you can tell she's a very sensitive soul. She's soft-spoken. You can tell she's shy. She is an admitted introvert. Thank you, Renee DeSud. And the bitch is #1 ranked in the world. Don't you? Is she number 2? No, she's #1. The fuck it. I don't care. She's up there. She should be ranked #1 if she's not ranked #1. I don't report the sports, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I do here. So anyway, Naomi Osaka, 5 days ago. Hey, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Okay. I'm writing to say that I'm not going to do any press during Roland Garros, which is the French Open. I've often felt that people have no regard for athletes' mental health, and this rings very true whenever I see a press conference or partake in one. We're often sat there and asked questions that we've already been asked multiple times. And what else did she say? Wait. I just lost my place. Multiple times. Or ask questions that bring doubt into our minds. And I'm just not going to subject myself to that so that people doubt me. I've watched many clips of other athletes breaking down after a loss in the press room. And I know you all have as well. I believe that I'm hot and I don't feel like reading the rest of it. I'm sorry. Should I read the rest of it? No, I don't think I need to read the rest of it because y'all get the gist. She didn't say anything. Well, she did say some things, but the basic gist of it is that Naomi said that she ain't showing up to the press conference because she doesn't want people allowed to pick her apart, basically, right? Is basically how athletes feel as though press conferences go. And, gang, to me, especially in the realm of tennis, the racial optics there are not lost upon me, as I'm sure they are not lost upon Naomi Osaka, right? Or Coco Gauff or Serena Williams. But again, Serena and Venus are OGs at this. They've been at this 20-some years. And if you want to go back to the early press conferences when Serena and Venus was still rocking the braces with the beads, Serena and them daddies was not going for a lot of that bullshit, okay? The white press trying to pick them apart. And it was a good thing that Serena's father was there, but I digress. Back to Naomi Osaka. And like I said, further on in the statement, she talks about how she has social anxiety and that she is not here for people to pick her apart, right? And So Roland Garros has commenced, right? The French Open is rocking and rolling. Naomi did not show up for the first mandatory press thing, right? And over the weekend, Roland Garros released a statement saying that they intended to fine Naomi $15,000 and that if she continued to miss these mandatory press obligations, that she could be suspended from play and have her matches defaulted, right? Number one ranked tennis player in the world, okay? Number one ranked tennis player in the world. They are going to suspend her and disqualify her because she is letting them know that, hey, I'm perfectly able to compete on the tennis court, but I need accommodation in this other way. I cannot do this thing that you are mandating that I do because it has a detrimental effect on me mentally. And they said, oh, Naomi, we totally understand, but your black ass better show up or you gonna get suspended, right? What did Naomi do, y'all? Naomi, over the weekend, pulled the bosses of boss moves because real niggas do real things. I can't say it no other way. I'm so sorry. Because when I found out that Naomi Osaka so politely told the French Open to kiss her ass, I was beaming with pride like a real auntie. I said, look at my niece doing it. You're doing amazing, sweetie. You are doing amazing, Naomi Osaka. And what's interesting is, I think it was Bree Newsom Bass on Twitter who pointed it out, right? How Roland Garros, the French Open, took this very heavy-handed approach towards Naomi's decision, right? But May, you guys, the month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month, right? And the people at the French Open basically told Naomi Osaka very politely that they didn't give a shit about her mental health, right? And Naomi Osaka politely told them back, hey, I give lots of shits about my mental health. What I don't give a fuck about is the French Open, bitch. So guess what? You can't fire me because I quit. And withdrew from the tournament. Oh, hell. Y'all give it up for a young queen out there. Hold on. Y'all give it up for a young queen out there. I, myself personally, am absolutely, you can't fire me, I quit kind of bitch. So when I saw Naomi Osaka had pulled this exact move, I said, yes, Naomi, in the face, Naomi, thank you. And guys, it is only because she's a top ranked player. It's only because she's a 4-time Grand Slam, right? Like if she hadn't been winning, she wouldn't be able to pull a move like this. But because she's a winner, she pulled a boss move. Now, what I appreciate about what Naomi has done here, she has set a boundary, right? Like she laid a boundary down, you guys, to protect herself. And anytime that Black women do this, it's met with no, you can't. And we are going to get you to submit and or comply, right? The shit that the establishment or the institution that's about to be levied against you is probably going to be more than would be levied against a non-Black person, right? White person. Let's just say white. Against a white person, right? I can't say non-Black because, again, I know there's different variations of how people get punished along the racial spectrum, and really, we are all comparing our experiences to how they treat white people in similar experiences. And you know, some of the criticism, of course, came. First of all, let me just say that Naomi has got a lot of support. A lot of the ball players like bigged her up. I think Steph Curry said something about Naomi. LeBron said something about Naomi. Serena said Naomi has to do what Naomi has to do, right? Fine. That's a perfectly suitable answer, Serena Williams. I don't have a problem with that. You don't have to go super hard for Naomi, but don't condemn her. Don't come down upon her. But the only criticism that I even tiny bit paid attention to was Piers fucking Morgan, right? And we're not playing Piers Morgan on this program, Shawty. We don't advertise polite Klansmen on our program. We don't amplify clowns. Let me explain something to y'all. If y'all hear me play like what another media personality has had to say, it has to have offended me very deeply. I don't play those personality games. I don't give a fuck what media pundit X, Y, or Z had to say about shit. You know why? Because at the end of the day, them motherfuckers don't run shit. Okay, they don't run shit by their mouth. They don't hold any power. Well, I won't say they won't hold any power, but they don't hold any power versus policy, right? So we keep our criticisms of the real people that are in charge. I don't play those personality games. Oh, did you hear what so and so? I don't give a fuck what so and so said. Okay, that's what I say. But Piers Morgan tweeted about Naomi Osaka. I'm high now, as y'all can see. Hey, I probably need to relight my J. Tweeted about Naomi Osaka, called her something like petulance, and this is out of the Harry and Meghan playbook and all this bullshit. But I found a clip, which we're not going to play, I'm just telling y'all about it, where Piers Morgan interviewed Tyson Fury, right? White dude, right? And was like, Tyson, I'm certain that you've been having a difficult time at it during the pandemic with your mental health, and was like very accommodating and understanding about Tyson Fury having to been in lockdown during the COVID pandemic, right? And it's like, dog, just say that you don't fuck with black women. Just say you hate black women, Piers. It would really make it easier on everyone involved, because we know it, you just won't say it, okay? Like, you just won't say it that way. And please spare us your selfies with said black celebrity whom you just happen to cross paths with, dog. You don't kick it with nobody fucking black that ain't on the payroll, pimping. So please, nigga, we ain't fooled by you, Piers Morgan. But it was just telling that a bitch ass nigga like Piers Morgan would be the one, would be being the loudest and the wrongest and the dumbest with condemnation for Naomi Osaka. So gang, I just want to say, Naomi Osaka, niece, you're doing great. You held your nuts. I don't know how else to put it. And I'm very proud of you, Naomi Osaka. That is incredible what you have done in taking a stand for yourself. And you've already let us know that you are hip to what is going on in these streets. So you understand that what black people, not only in America, but I'm sure in Haiti and in places across the globe are dealing with. So I already know you get it on a whole nother level. But I am so proud of you for standing up for yourself, because Black women usually are not given the space to do that, right? We are not given the space to protect ourselves. Most importantly, protect our health and our mental health, right? We always got to show up and do, or else there will be consequences, right? And there are consequences, but Naomi said, "Oh, nigga, but there's consequences for ignoring my needs." And y'all, let me just say, well, first of all, I'm only watching tennis if Serena/Naomi are playing anyway, right? Right. That's the only reason I'm watching tennis. Like, seriously. And I can appreciate the sport of tennis. I understand tennis. I can talk about tennis, but I'm only interested in tennis if it's somebody black out there. I'm going to keep it a buck. Okay. And Serena, as great and as amazing and as ethereal as Serena Williams is, Serena is coming towards the end of her career, right? I don't even know if Serena's still in the job, right? I mean, it would not shock me if Serena Williams did not make it to the French Open finals, right? But it would have shocked me if Naomi Osaka did not make it to the French Open finals. So I said that to say, guys, the good folks at Roland Garros or NBC Sports or whomever is covering or carrying the French Open and all the Grand Slams better hope that Serena ass get to them finals, because if she don't, a lot of people that would have tuned in to watch Naomi Osaka are not going to tune in to watch Naomi Osaka. So really, I hope that professional tennis understands, like, who's kind of in charge here now. You feel me? Like Naomi has 1 million followers alone on Twitter. I can only imagine how many she has on Instagram and other platforms, right? And not to say that her legion of fans is enough to sort of overcome, I guess, the institution of tennis, but I don't think that the sport has been challenged in this way by someone who looks like her, maybe ever, right? Serena and Venus rocked the boat really by just existing, right? Like they didn't really step out of line too much. But the time that Serena did get pulled back happened to be the French Open in 2018. Do you guys remember when Serena Williams rocked a cat suit on the tennis court in competition and sent tongues a wagging because Serena is built like a brick shit house and you can't, what are you going to do? Not look at Serena Williams in a cat suit? Be for real. Okay, so Serena Williams steps onto the court in a cat suit, and of course the French go, "Ooh la la, oh mon Dieu, what is she wearing? Oh my goodness!" And so Serena caught some shit for that, y'all. I want us to take a look, if we could. Let's go back in time, shall we? This clip is from the ES to the PN, to the We Just to the BN. On, I guess this was First Take. Yes, it was. And they're going to talk to sports journalist, sports writer LZ Granderson about what the French Open said and did to Serena Williams when she rocked this cat suit during competition in 2018. Can we please take a look at that, please?
I didn't get to read the quote, but the French Tennis Federation president had said one must respect the game and the place, and it became a very big deal, and Serena there really diffused it in a huge way. Nike had a response of its own, tweeting at that photo of Serena saying you can take the superhero out of her costume, but you can never take away her superpowers. Elsie, you cover the sport. What did you think of this whole brouhaha?
Well, a couple of things. My first was the quote that you talked about from the French Open president, which is, respect the game and the place.
Correct.
What exactly about her body, about that uniform, if you will, disrespected the French Open or the fans watching? I need you to be specific with that, because as far as I can tell on the outside looking in, you're saying she was too bootylicious. That's basically what you're saying to me, because I have seen so many, and I've been to the French Open, and you can see the women wearing mini skirts, you can see butt cheek as they play. And somehow that's not offensive, but because she's in this form-fitting uniform that covers up everything, basically, you're now saying that's disrespectful. So I need him to clarify that before
Good luck getting that clarification.
Yeah, that clip's from ESPN. LZ Granderson putting it pretty plainly there, right? And is it a coincidence, guys, that this is the French Open again? Now, again, LZ Granderson was correct. I went back and looked at that press conference for that exact incident, and Serena really kind of like brushed it off. She's like, yeah, it's no big deal. Da, 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 da. Like she gave them very much an easy out, despite the fact that Serena said that the reason she was wearing that cat suit in the first place had to do because it was a compression suit. And Serena, I think by that time had already experienced issues with blood clots, right? So she was wearing it as like a medical thing, right? I mean, again, is it Serena's fault that she's built like that? No, not at all. Just say you want to stare at Serena Williams, or that when Serena Williams wears a cat suit, that's the only thing people see. Like, just say that, but like, don't penalize her because of her black body. You feel me? Like, the disrespect for the game, right? That's the statement that Roland Garros gave on Serena Williams. Disrespect. Not a coincidence, guys. But this happens all the time to black women in sports. I mean, it happens all the time to black women everywhere, right? There is data that backs up the fact that, for example, black girls are given out of school suspensions at higher rates than white students, than white girls who are, you know, are brought up for similar disciplinary reasons. Black women are sentenced to harsher prison terms comparative to white women for the same crimes. Like, Black women get it across the board, but I'm talking about sports right now. So, y'all, first of all, I'm so proud of these young girls. I can't even talk. Okay. Naomi Osaka makes me beam with pride. Simone Biles makes me beam with pride. And you guys, Simone Biles is such a bad bitch. Simone Biles, y'all saw the move that she pulled out at the national championships in Indianapolis. This was a week and some change ago. If you haven't seen what Simone Biles did, and again, it got talked about, but I don't think you understand. Okay. Tunde, run Simone during the Yurchenko. Now, before I run this, I know you saw it, but you need to see it again. Toby Swally, thank you so much. Hashtag Pride Love. Oh my gosh. Today is June 1st and it is the start of Pride. Happy Pride, everybody. We're going to get back to Pride. Thank you very much, Toby, for that. Simone Biles. This move that Simone Biles did is named after a Russian gymnast named Natalia Yurchenko, right? Natalia Yurchenko herself never did this move in competition, okay? And Simone Biles literally was just fucking around doing this move, y'all. And I'm not even exaggerating. And the clip that we're about to watch illustrates that. I believe this is from NBC Sports, but you really need to pay attention. Well, pay attention to Simone, because what she's doing is she is fucking gymnastics up. And she's an old broad relative to a gymnast age, right? So not only is Simone older, right, than what a top competitive elite gymnast is supposed to be doing at her. She's way older than that, but she's Black and she's brown and she's bad. And Tunde, okay, let's run it. Run Simone doing the Yurchenko double pike, baby. Let's go.
I mean, since the very first moment that we actually saw this with our own, well, the Queen has definitely spoken.
Even her coaches were shaking their heads at the end, and they've seen her do it.
I made it so. Thanks.
Man.
So good. Huge air. That is 3 flips, 3 times around from board to mat.
And you know, a lot of people worry that you're not going to have enough power or height or in the air. And look at this, over-rotated it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how big that was. Wow.
And everybody was thinking that, when she announced this, a lot of the experts were out there saying, she doesn't need to do it. Why would she do this? The potential for, getting hurt, is so great, but they haven't really seen Simone Biles because, okay, she has done 4 of those today.
She has done 4 of those today. So, what are you saying? This is a move. Y'all, nobody has ever done this move in competition, right? This move is perceived to be so dangerous that no one has ever even attempted it. And fucking Simone Biles did 4 of them bitches today. I mean, not necessarily on today, but on that day. That was like her 4th go round doing the Yurchenko double pike that other motherfuckers don't even attempt. Slim. So explain to me why, ladies and gentlemen. Riddle me fucking this. From the New York Times, okay? The judges scoring her, however, were not so impressed. Despite the move's difficulty, they gave it a provisional scoring value of 6.6, close to what Biles's other vaults have received. That limited the points available for performing it successfully, a point that a frustrated Biles suggested was unfair to her. Simone Biles, quote, "I feel like now we just have to try to get what we get, because there's no point in putting up a fight because they're just not going to reward it, end quote, she said of the judges. And ultimately, the International Gymnastics Federation, which has the final word on starting values for new vaults done in competition, quote, so we just have to take it and be quiet, end quote. Simone Biles did something that nobody has ever done. She did something that even the creator, the inventor of this move did not dare to do. And because of her exceptionalism, because Simone Biles is continuing to defy gymnastics, because she is exceptional and amazing and is flying through the air, apparently also defying physics, they don't even know how to rate her, right? Rather, let me rephrase. They are choosing to rate her lower, basically because of how exceptional she is. Because she is the only person on the planet who can do that move, and not only do it in competition, but do it 3-4 other times just fucking around. She doesn't get the extra credit, the scoring leverage that she absolutely deserves. She's already the best gymnast ever, okay? Ever. And when asked Simone Biles, they asked Simone Biles, I wish I had a clip of this. They asked Simone Biles, they said, why do you want to do this? You don't have to do it. And her answer was because I can. Why do you not want me to be at my maximum potential, right? What is it about Black women operating at the highest level that they can? Why does that scare so many people? I mean, it legitimately scares them, y'all, to the point that their excellence is stifled, right? I mean, at the end of the day, everyone is going to remember history in relation to Simone Biles, in relation to Naomi Osaka on this too. But there's other ones too. I'm going to get to those too, but I'm sorry. But just knowing that Simone fully understands, number one, what she is up against, right? In dealing with this very racist, right? Clearly very sexist and misogynistic International Gymnast Federation, right? No, that was USA Gymnastics. But I bet you the international niggas didn't give a fuck either that the girl gymnasts were being molested by Nasser, right? Simone has overcome all of that, y'all. And why do they want to rank her lower? Because she's amazing. Kurt Diggler. Yes, it does remind you of Shaq. And there absolutely have been plenty of examples of this happening to Black male athletes, right? Shaq, didn't they make up some special rules for Kareem? But at the end of the day, like, right, who said she broke the game? Luke Kang, yes, Luke Kang. That's exactly what she did, Luke Kang. She broke the game. Simone Biles broke the game, yes. And they don't know what to do with it. But guys, what my point about how this is, or at least the specific lens I'm trying to look at this through pertaining to Black women, is that the punishments can be severe, right? Or, I mean, I guess Simone is not punished, meaning that she's not, receiving some sort of action against her. But the greatness of her performance is not being fully recognized, which is you're ignoring what she's done? Are you fucking kidding me? One last example I wanted to use about this, because I'm like, when I started to think about it, I'm like, God damn, like, why is it I'm able to come up with so many examples of Black women in sports that this has happened to, where either their accommodations that they're asking for are not met. Serena wearing that compression cat suit was a medical accommodation she asked for. They said no. Naomi Osaka asking not to do press, and they said no. And such was the case with South African runner Caster Semenya, right? You guys know her. Like, she was beating bitches' asses out there on that track, okay? I think she was running like long distance, like the 800 meter and like the 1,000 meter and like dusting bitches out there, like just leaving them to just way behind. But there were so many accusations and questions about her gender. Was she actually a woman? To the point where motherfuckers wanted to like forcefully like invade her body in order for her to prove that she was female. And it's like, does this happen to white women ever? I mean, ever? Or does this only happen to elite level Black women? Tunde, can I please look at C6? This, guys, is from 2019. I'm sorry, C7. This is from 2019, where there was real fights trying to get Castor banned from competition. Tunde, can we take a look at that, please?
I think what we all want to know is how have the past few months...
A world champion, businesswoman, and philanthropist. This is Caster Semenya. Throughout her 10-year career, she's had to deal with questions about her gender, people calling her a man and demanding that she undergo gender testing. The worst of all, she's battling a proposal by the International Association of Athletics Federations, which requires women with high testosterone levels to take medication to lower it. I sat down with the sportswoman for a quick chat.
So I think what we all want to know is how have the past few months been for you, emotionally and also mentally during the court battles?
I think for me as a human, I was prepared for anything that comes, to me in this world. If we were to talk about mentally, I've learned how to, control the state of my mind on taking everything in and out. So if we were to talk about the situation, I don't think it was that much heavy for me. I think it will be heavy for people who are around me, family.
Yeah. Did you ever feel like your rights as a woman were walked all over?
I think, of course, I felt that from the day one, from the beginning. Obviously, the day I was questioned if I'm a woman or I'm a man. Obviously, that's, to me, is a violation. For me, it's a disgrace. It's an insult, which is one thing for me, for sure. I can never be something I'm not.
How do you block out all this noise? What do you do? How do you find that inner peace?
Negativity to me does not exist, to be honest. From young, I think I grew up with a lot of people being negative in everything that you do. If you walk this direction, because they're not walking in that direction, they will say, no, you cannot succeed. Or they come and say, because you look a little bit like a boy, you can never be accepted in the world. No. If 10% of people in this world do not accept me for who I am, that don't mean nothing to me, because if 90% appreciate me for being who I am, and then they love the work that I do, so 10% is just nothing.
That interview and that news clip from ENCA, News Channel Africa, speaking with South African track star Caster Semenya. And guys, again, another Black woman, got to do some extra shit to be excellent, right? I mean, no, I'm sorry, excellent, but then made to be jumped through some hoops because of their excellence. And, unfortunately, so that interview was from 2019. Tunde, if you could pop up that NPR joint, that headline real quick, because this was reported last year. So from NPR, Alisa Chang was the host of this piece, but two-time Olympic gold medalist Caster Semenya has lost her appeal against World Athletics. Last year, track's governing body introduced guidelines that call for the restrictions of testosterone in female athletes. Thank you, Liu Kang, for asking in the chat. Do male athletes who have high levels of estrogen have to be subjected to testing? My guess is no. Yes. So so anyway, they introduced these guidelines, and basically these guidelines means that Caster Semenya would have to take testosterone reducing drugs in order to compete in races from the 400 meters to a mile. She has refused and has appealed the case multiple times. Now the federal Supreme Court in Switzerland has dismissed Semenya's appeal, which likely means she will be unable to defend her Olympic title next year. And there's that. So I was doing a little bit more research on this. So apparently Caster Semenya was dusting bitches, okay? Just dusting motherfuckers in the 400 meter to a mile races, right? So now her options are pretty much the shortest race, not the shortest, absent sprint, but like the 200 meter, right? And the 5K. Now, those seem like very different races. And it's fucked up that, again, this Black woman in the body she was born in is questioned and insisted upon to submit to medical testing by white institutions because of her Black exceptionalism. If she was losing to the white girls, they wouldn't give a fuck, okay? They would not give a single fuck. The fact that she is out here dusting bitches is the problem, okay? That's the problem. But no, the real problem is that she's Black and she's woman and she's bad at what the fuck she does. And that's bad, not bad, but bad meaning good, right? Folk, run DMC real quick. But yeah, y'all already know what time it is. And it's amazing to me that these Black women are still being subjected to this kind of treatment. And amazing in a very non-surprising way. Like amazing, like don't y'all get tired of this kind of amazing? Like ain't y'all tired of deliberately trying to hold back me and mines? I'm telling you, and listen, I know we have Black women who watch the show. I know we have non-Black women who watch the show, and I'm grateful to you all. But I'm grateful that at least the non-Black women who watch the show are understanding. Okay, like if you don't have an understanding and a default empathy to the experience of Black women on this planet, but very specifically in this country, this is absolutely not the place for you, okay? There are lots of other places around this YouTube neighborhood that you can go hang out and put your feet up and park in their comments. Don't come here with no slandering Black women bullshit, y'all. And I'm glad that y'all don't, and I just wanted to express a tiny bit of gratitude for that small but very big thing that I absolutely appreciate. But this is why what Naomi did was so amazing, right? Because Naomi said, okay, niggas, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach. Fuck you, bitches. In a way, unfortunately, that Caster Semenya is not able to do because she clearly wants to still compete in the Olympics. I believe that she recently competed in the South African track nationals. And she's, again, stuck in this rock in this hard place where she's forced to run races that aren't her races, right? She can't even defend her Olympic titles because she refuses to submit, which is a victory and a loss, unfortunately. It's a personal victory for herself because she is taking control over her autonomy and, over her body. Like, fuck y'all. Like, no, I'm not submitting shit. And y'all not forcing me to take medication that will perhaps diminish my natural excellence that my body already produces. Like, isn't that something? They're trying to medicate her to make her body not perform as well. Wow. Put an asterisk next to that shit, please. But again, y'all, this happens to Black women in real time. Please don't let people tell you that we have made so much progress, because even as you see, Black women who are at the very apex of their respective sports are still held very much to these bullshit standards. And And again, I know I'm repeating, but I can't help but say what Naomi Osaka did was so important, y'all, because she knows that, number one, y'all can't keep Naomi Osaka out these tournaments forever, okay? Because the people are there to see Naomi Osaka second. They're there to see Serena first. I'm not going to take none away from Serena, but Naomi is the young buck right there, like on Serena's ass. And Serena knows it, right? And then I would imagine to a certain extent, Serena's cool with it. Serena knows what time it is. Serena has done things with her career that nobody has ever expected. The fact that she is still playing tennis at a very high level is quite amazing. But Naomi is the heir apparent. There's no question about that. And this, you guys, is something that you all know. And then I'm going to let it go because I might hold that Obama is an op for Friday. That might be part of Friday's discussion because that's a discussion that needs to be had. Obama might be the most successful fucking op to ever be unleashed and executed against Black America. I'm trying to tell you, there's mounting evidence to suggest that Obama was totally an op, run against us. Oh my gosh. But yeah, we'll save that for Friday. I'm gonna get into this. I see what time it is in the hour, but let me just close out with this, y'all. They can't keep Naomi Osaka out these tournaments. And the fact that Naomi was able to go in there, demand accommodation, get denied her accommodation is even more reason why she will be accommodated the next time. Because rising star notwithstanding, if these corporations and better yet, American society at large is going to act like they have all the compassion in the world for people with mental illness, and now we are a more understanding society who gets it now, it's very telling whom society decides not to understand mental health crises for and mental health disorders for, right? Someone like Naomi Osaka got a lot of support, but again, the bullshit criticism from assholes like Piers Morgan, right? Demand that Black perform for white at all times, under all circumstances, with a disregard to the Black person's health or mental well-being, right? And Naomi said, I'm not your monkey, okay? I'm going to show up. I'm going to whip ass on them clay courts. I'm going to play my tennis. I'm going to do my matches. I can't do this press thing, right? And I, as a layperson who has never experienced anything at the level Naomi Osaka's experienced, can completely understand that. You can look at that young lady and tell not everybody's built for that. Now, Caster Semenya, on the other hand, just sat there and told y'all, like, I'm used to this. Like, I can deal with this. Okay. That just also goes to show you that Black women are not a monolith, right? Like, we have to be able to accommodate and meet people where they say they are. And I'm so proud of Naomi for setting a boundary, a line not to be crossed for herself. And I hope that empowers us, like other Black women and other people, but Black women specifically, y'all, we are way too amenable to taking on extra shit, right? And to the disregard of our own personal self-care, right? And our own time to ourselves, right? So anyway, be inspired by what Naomi did. And I feel as though if the Grand Slams and professional tennis are smart, Naomi will have accommodations going forward. Because don't cut off your nose to spite your face, racism. Even though that's exactly what racism is totally willing to do. It's willing to cut off his nose to spite his face. To teach Naomi a lesson, they will possibly allow themselves to take a financial loss. I don't know. This will be interesting. I'm curious to see how this plays out. Because again, Naomi Osaka is the ratings draw after Serena Williams, baby. And if Serena gets bounced early, ain't nobody gonna be watching them French Open finals. So, the other Grand Slam tournaments need to position themselves accordingly and figure out how they are going to accommodate one of the world's most famous and rising young tennis stars out there, because it's nothing to not to accommodate her, right? Okay. Naomi doesn't want to do media, guys. Okay. And if they're afraid that a mutiny might ensue, well, maybe this is something that they need to rethink, because rules are made to be broken. Okay, we're in a whole ass new century here. We don't have to do shit the way it's always been done. That actually sounds pretty stupid. There's an opportunity to improve on the process. Perhaps now is a time to be innovative. Toby Swiley, what's going on? Thank you, man. We appreciate it. He just dropped another dub on us. Thank you, Toby. Thank you. CLM Jago and everything. So anyway, you guys, big it up Naomi Osaka, sending much love to Simone Biles, Serena Williams, Caster Semenya.